Hello guys, today we are going to the movie review. Movie name is Training Day 90 2001 full movie. Director Antoine Fuqua stars Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Channel Crime, Thriller, Drama, Runtime 122 minutes. Overview. Training Day is a gritty street-level crime thriller that throws you straight into the dark underbelly of Los Angeles. The films follow Jack Hyatt, Ethan Hawke, a rookie lab narcotics officer on his very first day with Detective Alonzo Harris. Denzel Washington, a man who looks like a legend but slowly reveals himself to be something far more dangerous. What stars as a learning day quickly turns into the nightmare of moral justice, corruption, and survival performance. Denzel Washington delivers one of the most iconic performances in crime movie history. Charismatic, driving, funny, and unpredictable, Alonzo Hayes is a villain you can't look away from. This role won him the Academy Award for Best Actor, and honestly, it's a fully deserved. Ethan Hawke is excellent as the moral central of the film. His gradual shift from idealistic cop to desperate survival feels raw and believable. He also earned an Oscar nomination for this role. The chemistry between the two is electric. Mentor versus student, predictor versus conscience, story and theme. The movie explores police corruption, abuse of power, morality versus survival. The thin line between law and crime. Alonso believes the streets can only be controlled by fear, and so Jack's belief in the bags. The entire film is basically philosophically battle correct and bullets and imitation. Director and atmosphere. Antonio Fuqua keeps the camera close to the streets. Handheld shots has lightning and real location make all feel dangerous and alive. The tension keeps rising minutes by minutes, especially in the last act where everything explodes emotionally and violently. The film has a raw, almost documentary like realism that makes it hit harder than a typical cop thriller. Music and sound. The hip hop heavy soundtrack fits perfectly with the urban setting. It adds attitude without overpowering the story. Final act. The climax is intense, satisfying, and morally charged. It doesn't rely on flashy action alone. It delivers consequences. The ending leaves you thinking about justice, cause, and what it really means to be right. For the Turning Day is a modern crime classic dark, intense, and unforgettable. Rating 9, 10 on. So guys, continue with me and I try to other other type this movie review. So please continue with me. My net is slow, my script are very late downloading. So so sorry guys, but I 2 minutes please wait, 2 minutes wait, and you enjoying my language, best language to your mind. So director and atmosphere. Anthony Fuqua turns Los Angeles into a character itself. Gritty night voodoo, sun-drenched streets, hiding darkness, handheld camera works adds realism. There's no cinematic glamour. It feels dirty, dangerous, and real. Themes and winning training day isn't just a cop movie. It explores corruption in authority, power versus morality, systemic rot, the rise of integrity. The films ask, can you survive in a corrupt system without becoming corrupt yourself? Dialogues and iconic moments. The movie is packed with quotable lines, especially from Alonso. Street philosophy, street disguised a joke, power flexing in conversation. The final act is especially tense and unforgettable. Weak points, some side characters feel underdeveloped. A few plot convenience near the end. Female character here have limited depth, but this all follows. Don't reduce the overall impact. Overall verdict: Training Day is brutal, thought-provoking performance driving still relevant today. It's not about cops, criminals. It's about right versus wrong is a broken system. Rating 99. Alright, let's go deeper into Training Day 2001 theme symbolism, ending breakdown, hidden details, the whole package, deep themes and symbolism, power corrupt absolutely. Alonso isn't just a bad cop, he's a system consultant. He believes that law is flexible, fear is more effective than justice, power equals survival. His badge gave him authority, but the streets he give him control until they don't. The film shows how unchecked power slowly turns into tyranny. The snake versus the sheep street philosophy. Alonso often implies wolves eat sheep, snake survives morality. It is a weakness. Jax, however, proves something important. You can survive without becoming a monster. The movie rejects Alonso's philosophy, but only after testing Jack to his breaking point. Ending explain no confusion by the impact. By the final act, Alonso's web of lines collapses. The people he exploits turns against him. His streets respect is revealed as fear, not loyalty, when he screams King Kong ain't a scourge on me. It's pure irony. He's loud, he's desperate, he's already lost. His start isn't heroic, it's invisible. The streets he ruled no longer protect him. Character breakdown Alonso has manipulator, not a leader, believes fear is stuck, thinks is touchable, days alone, no backup, no badge power, symbolism fires authority, Jack White tested with drugs, bravery, murder almost breaks, bravery, murder almost breaks, refused to cross the final line, symbol is moral resistance, director and realism. Film unfolds almost in one single day, pressure never released, natural lighting, realism, minimal background score, tension feels raw, Fikwa makes violence sudden, not stylish, which make it scarier, music and sound design. West Coast Chief of Hall of Key Beats streaks noise, replays dramatic music. Silence is used as a weapon, especially during tense confrontation, hidden details and trivia. The script was inspired by real left corruption case Denzel Washington based Alonso on a real life officer. Ethan Hawke wasn't the first choice but became perfect casting. This role changed Denzel's career trajectory from hero to complex anti-hero. Cultural impact: one of the most iconic crime thrillers of the 2000s, Alonso Harris regularly listens among top movie villains, frequently stupid in film and ethics classes. Why running the still matters? Because the question it asks is timeless. What happens when those mean to protect the law starts rewarding is that's why the film still feels relevant today. Final rating 9/10 on a modern crime classic powered by a legendary performance. Scan by scan winning key moment. Opening right along the casual banter in the cars is intentional. Alonso acts friendly, lower checks guards, small talks, hides power dynamics from minutes when Alonso is testing obedience. This is how corruption curious request people slowly, comfortably. The PCP scans moral traps. Alonso forcing Jack to smoke PCP in the real imitation. It's illegal. It removes Jack's credibility. It gives Alonso leverage. Symbolism: once you cross a line, you are no longer clean, and Alonso owns you. The Latino Night Woodwood House. One of the most disturbing scenes is framed or murder. The room is claustrophobic. Silence replaced music. This is where Jake realizes the bride's one won't save him. Ironically, it's the community, not the police, that give him mercy. The Roger Skins turning point. Alonso murders Rogers for money. No hesitation, no remorse. Justifies it as street justice. This proves Alonso isn't bending the law. He erased it long ago. Alonso Harris psychology profile. Alonso displayed traits of narcissism, narcissism, sociopathy, key traits, love control, not justice, trivia on intimidation, believes he is smart than everyone, he biggest flaws, he mistakes fear for loyalty, moral philosophy towards Jock Toyota Alonso Harris. Law is impact but necessary. Integrity matters. Survival matters. Justice is slow. Violence is efficient. Law is imperia. Cinematography details you missed. Wide shots. Alonso control tight close-ups. Jake's panic. Sunlight. Moral exposure. No darkness, no height, unlike typical thrillers most crimes happen in daylight, saying evil doesn't need darkness, realism versus Hollywood. What's a realistic? Police corruption method, information manipulation essence, schedules, street politicals, what's accelerated when co-operating that much unchecked power in a day, the speed of consequence, still the emotional truth feels real. Alternate ending script trivia originally Alonso was arrested, not killed. Test audience hated it. The final ending works better. Streets Judge Alonso's system failed him. Poetic justice wins. Why Denzel's performance is legendary. He makes evil charming. You almost believe his logic. He scars without shouting until the end. Many critics say without Denzel, Training Day is just a good movie. With him, iconic final takeaway. Training Day isn't about cops, it's about choice. When pressure comes from shall their jowl, some hold the lines, Jack holds the line and barely survives. Haha, alright, you asked for it. Ultra Deep Mood on Training Day 2001. This is the kind of breakdown film student and hardcore cinephiles love. Why Training Day feels so uncomfortable on purpose. Most crime movies give you a clear hero, a clear villain, clear justice. Training Day refused comfort. You spent most of the movies following the villains, listening on his logic, almost agreeing with him at times. That's comfort it intentionally. The film traps the audience the same way Jax is trapped. Alonso mentor was predator psychology. Alonso doesn't dominate sex immediately. He uses a three-stage predator method: charm, jokes, wisdom, confidence. Trust me, kind, compromise. Smoke this, look the other way. Just this once. Small moral cuts. Control. You are dirty now, I own you, no one will believe you. This mirror real world corruption, pipelines is police, politics, corruption. Jack White, the rare movie protagonist, Jack isn't a superhero, a genius, fearless, but thus he is confused, afraid, outnumbered. What makes him strong is consistency. He keeps saying no even when it almost gets him killed. The movie argues heroism is often just refusing to become evil, not defending it. Why the movie happens in daylight. Most crime films hide scenes. Darkness Training Day does the opposite. Bright suns, open streets, clear visibility, symbolism. Corruption doesn't hide, it operates openly when protected by power. The sun exposes everything. That's why Alonso becomes more desperate as the day goes. Violence without glory. Notice the slow motion gunfights, no heroic music, no stylized skills. Violence is sudden, ugly, awkward. This strips away fantasy and makes violence feel wrong, not exciting. Strict justice versus legal justice. Alonso believes courts are weak, paperwork runs efficiency, fear keeps order, but the irony, the moment Alonso needs justice, the streets reject him. The system he mocked is the only thing that might have saved him. Small details you properly missed. Alonso constantly checks his watch. Timing is running out. He talks big but avoiding real accountability. Jax never carries himself like a bully. Body language matter. Alonso finally space mirror earlier confidence, but now it's hollow. Influencer on later movies and shows. Training Day paved the way for corrupt anti-hero cops, grey morality storytelling, characters like Mickey, the spoiled Frank Locus, even Walter White style logic, it helped normalize villains as main characters. The movie's final message is very important. The film does not say good always wins. The system works, it's a holding your moral way, not save you, but losing them guarantees your destruction. Jake survives physically, Alonso dies spiritually long before the bullets ultimate verdict. Training Day 2001 is a character study disguised as a thriller, a morality test disguised as entertainment, a warning disguised as coup movie. Legacy rating 9.5/10. No perfect, but reasonably powerful. Training Day as a ethics experiment. Thinks of the whole movie as moral laboratory. Jax is the test subject. Alonso controls the environment. Every situation asks the same question: what would you do if the rules stupid protecting you? The film doesn't give easy answer, it keeps rising the stakes until morality feels expensive. Ends justifies the means philosophy broken logic. Alonso believes bad guys deserve and bad treatment. Result matter more than process. Fear reduced crime. The flaws. One, once you follow evil method, you stop deciding who deserve them. By the end, Alonso used the same logic on innocent people. His partner himself. That's the poison feel of his philosophy. Mirror, mirror and reflection hidden visual motif. Watch carefully. Car windows, bathroom mirror, glass doors. Jack is often reflect questioning himself. Alonso is really so in reflection of avoid self examination, symbolism, sex loops. In words, Alonso never does time pressure as a weapon. The movie constantly timing reminds us it's just one day. Everything must happen fast. Mirror real algorithm tactics. No time, no think, no time, no check. Only react. Fast decisions, bad ethics. Alonso Fatal miscollecting. Alonso assumes money buys loyalty, fear boy guys respect, history buys immunity, but he forgets community memory. The neighborhood would remember who protects, who exploits. That's why they turn on him without hesitation. Jack's final power most underrated. Jack doesn't win by violence, he wins by returning stolen money, speaking truth publicly, standing his ground. That's why the community backs him. Authority shifts from badge to moral credibility. Why the movie still feels modern? Because the themes are timeless: policy, accountability, abuse of power, wastefulness of institutions, good people inside bad system. This movie called release today and still feels relevant. Denzel Washington's villain you almost root for that's the dangerous brilliance. Alonso sounds intelligence, makes sense sometimes, cause out real flaws in the system. The movie warns the most dangerous villains are the ones who tell partial truth. Training Day versus typical cop movies. Typical cop film. Training Day. Law, justice, lawful. Hero save day. Hero barely survives. Evil punished cleanly. Evil collapses massively. Comforting ending. Hero saved day. Hero barely survives. Final interpretation. Training Day says evil doesn't arrive screaming, it arrives smiling, confident, and experienced. And resisting it doesn't make you powerful, it just keeps you human. Alright, legends. Let's sequence very last drop out of Training Day 2001. This time, well, I hit quotes symbolism. You definitely missed soundtrack psychology, legacy, and fact. Iconics, quotes, and what they really means. King Coin and goats on me, not confidence, panic. Alien Alonso controls some quietly. He is the shouldn't it public meaning when powerful people start yelling they already lost. It's the sound of a man realizing this myth is that it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. This line explains the entire movie. Alonso used it to justify corruption. Sex like flips it by forcing the truth into the open. Some words define morality. You gotta be a wolf to survive. Classic survival logic, but the movie response is subtitled Slow survive short terms, communities survive long term. That's why Alonso fails and Jack doesn't soundtrack psychology very underrated. The music isn't tried to hype it up. West Coast hip hop authenticity, low volume realism, long silence anxiety. Why it works? The events of dramatic music force you to feel the tension instead of being guided emotionally. Silence becomes louder than consoles symbolism. You missed deep cuts, car, power space alone you control the route, the music, the conversation. Jack is trapped physically and morally. Once Jack exits car alone, like a power set money as moral weight. Every time money appears, someone loses integrity, someone gets hurt. Jack entering the money at the end is symbolic. He rejects stored power, guns without glory. Notice guns are always threatening the heroic. No cool reload shots, meaning violence is not empowerment, is desperation. It checks really clean motivation, no, and that's important. Jack's smoked PCB first but still benefits from states protecting used anti-mission. Once of twist, the movie doesn't the movie doesn't say he's perfect. It says integrity isn't about purity, it's about where you draw the final line. A real life parallels what it feels true, inspired by left rampart scandals, real undercover narc units assist visa abuse. The Christ part nothing alone does feels impossible. That's why the film sticks with you legacy and influence. After Training Day, Hollywood sensed was morally grey protagonist, corrupt mentor as villains, anti-hero storytelling so you can see its DNA in the since Breaking Bad truly detective American gangster frequently asked question is Alonso the villain or anti-hero strength of villains Christmastic justified? Is the ending optimistic morally? Yes. Systemically no. Jack survived the system remains broken by one day timelines to simulate pressures without reflecting how bad decisions happens. Final takes. Training Day isn't a cop movie. It's a warning. Evil doesn't need shows. It just needs people to stop saying no. Jack says no against again and barely survives. Alonso says yes to power, shortcuts, ego, and is doomed. Okay, you are officially on boss level. Training day, let's go into territory most people never discussed. Power rituals, miss masculinely fear iconics, and why this movie quietly feels like a horror film. Training Day as a horror movie? Yes, really. Think about it. One innocent guy trapped with a predator, no escape, rules keep changing. That's a horror structure. Alonso isn't a slasher. He is psychologically master. The fear doesn't come from jump scares, it comes from economics. Alonso doesn't really in love, justice, even money. He deals in fear. He trades fear for obedience, silence, loyalty, but fear has inflection. The more you use it, the less it works. By the end, no one is afraid anymore. His currency collapsed, that's why his fall is fast. Masculinity and ego silent themes. This movie is branched in toxic masculinity. Alonso's version loud dominates, humiliating violence. Jack's version quite controlled, principled, Stanley. The film subtle argues true strength is restraint, not damage. Alonso keeps proving he is the man. Max never tries to prove loud dominance, humiliation, violence. Jack's version quite controlled, principled, steady. The film subtle argues the strength is restraint, not dominance. Alonso keeps proving he is the true man. Jax never tries to prove anything, and that's why he wins. The boiling from technique. Alonso never says he corrupt. He says, relax, this is normal. Everybody doesn't it. Jax doesn't fall in because of one big decision. He almost fails because on many small ones he almost falls because of many small ones. This mirror real world corruption. Exactly why Alonso hates Jack's personal level. It's not just business. Jax represents the cove Alonso used to be or pretends to be. Jack's refusal in an ego bound. That's why Alonso become peculiar. Jax isn't just disobedient, he's mirror. The final confrontation, power set breakdown. At the end, Alonso still has a guns, still has money, still has experience, but he lost narratives, control, moral authority, psychology, dominance. Jax takes control simply by speaking cleanly, expose the truth, no pressing down. The loud man lost to the quiet ones. The movie's most brutal truth. This is the line the movie never says out loud. The system doesn't destroy Alonso. Loud, the system doesn't destroy Alonso. Alonso destroys himself. Corrupt system then collapse. People inside them do. Why the movie sticks with you, you don't leave thinking that's what's cool. That was shown you leave thinking, what would I have done? That question lingers. That's the mark of a great film. Ultimate core, massive training days teach one brutal lesson. Integrity won't make you powerful. It will just stop you from becoming a monster that survives. Alonso dominates until he doesn't. Alright, ultimate depth unlock. This is the kind of breakdowns you only get after watching Training Day multiple times and letting it, it sit in your head or for days. Let's go into craft, hidden power games, moral existing, and why this movie quietly judged the audience. Filmmaking corrupt why it feels so real. Camera as power indicator. Why Alonso is controlled camera is steady, confident. When Jack is trained, Jackie handheld shots. During confrontations, camera gets uncomfortably close. This creates a feeling of you are trapped in the situation too. The movie doesn't show danger, it puts you inside it. The audience is being tested too. Is the snaky brilliance at different points the movie tempts you to think, okay, that criminal deserves it. Maybe Alonso is it completely wrong. Jack should just go along to survive. The film quietly asks how much injustice are you willing to excuse of conventions if you ever see it. Alonso, even briefly, the movie covers you. Alonso's biggest lie tells himself. Alonso claims, I am necessary. That's the lie. Money, corrupt authority, please truth. Crime existed before him. Criminals will exist after him. He is not essential. He is replaceable, and once he becomes a liability, he is discarded. Power system don't love you, thank you. You moral exhaustion by Jakes looks brained. By the end, Jakes doesn't look victorious. He looks empty. That's realistic. Doing the right thing in a corrupt environment doesn't feel heroic. It feels trying, isolating, and lonely. The movie refuses to reward morality with happiness. It only rewards it with self-respect. Alonso's downfall is structural. People thinking alone dies because this he faced off the wrong people. He lost money, deeper truth. He violated the unwritten rules. States power depends on balance, respect, discretion. Alonso got greedy once greed replaced control, power collapsed. Symbols you probably still missed. Alonso's sunglasses from during manipulation removed. When he lost control, symbol he hides behind image. One Once exposed, he's just a man. Doors and thresholds that constantly enters unfamiliar space, stands in doorways, hesitates before stepping inside. Every doorway a moral choice, silence attracts after Alonso treatment 6 and 10 pause. That pause is intentional. Fear grows in silence. Why the systems never say checks, notice. No honest superior officer appears. No internal affairs rescues. No legal backup. The movie isn't saying the system will fix it. It's saying something sometimes you are on your own. The striking and honest final philosophical reading. Training Day argues something uncomfortable. Most evil doesn't come from hatred, it comes from efficiency without ethics. Alonso doesn't hate people, he just doesn't care. He scars and nearly dies because of it. The lasting of abstract days after watching Training Day, you don't remember the plot twist, the gunshots, you remember the pressure, the choice, the feeling of being coordinated warfield. That's why it endures. Absolute final verdict. Training Day 2001 is not entertainment first, it's moral endurance as discussed as a thriller. Some pass, some fails, everything is changed. Timeless rating 9.5 10 on. Okay, this is officially in finishing mode. Let's hit brand new angle so it doesn't feel repetitive. Mythology, power, ritual, religion, symbolism. Why Alonso talks like a pressure and why the movie secretly feels like a fall from grass story. Training Day as a modern tragedy. This movie actually follows Greek tragedy rules, tragic hero structure but twisted. Alonso has status, power, intelligence, respect on the surface. His fatal loss, Sabrik, absolute belief in his own superiority. Like, like a tragic king, he believes he untouchable. The higher he stands, the harder the fall. Jack isn't to be the hero of the tragedy. Alonso is the tragic figure who, destroying himself, religious and biblical symbolism hidden but strong. Alonso as the serpent offers knowledge of the real world. 10 checks with power, say innocence is weakness, just like it. Take this and you all see the truth. The PCP scans is forbidden fruit movement. Check as the tested believer. Check is tempted. Greatness punished for doing right. But he never chose evil. He is not rewarded with happiness, only survival. That's very biblical. Why Alonso talks like a pressure? Every notice how Alonso sounds like he delivering sermons. This is how it is. Let me tell you something. You don't know the streets like I do. That's no accidental. Pressures speak in absolutes, claim moral authority, leaves no room for doubt. Alonso doesn't accuse, he declares. That's how he controls people. Psychology warfare. Alonso's real weapon. It's not the gun, it's certainty. He never hesitates. He never sounds unsure. He speaks like someone who already decides reality. Checks strength. He allows doubt, and doubt is how we stay human. Why Alonso can't be saved? Very important. People think if Alonso had just escaped, no, even if he lived, he has done. He he lost credibility. He lost narrative control. He lost belief in his own myth. Once people stop believing their own story, they collapse fast. Training Day as a warning about mental. This is Hawke. The film is really about choosing who you learn from. Alonso is efficiency without ethics, power without responsibility, confidence without reflection. Jack survives by reacting and mentorship. That's a life lesson why bigger than polishing. Why the movie refused a clean ending. Notice Jack isn't celebrate, no medals, no courtroom justice. Because the real integrity of television notice the quickest but most important moment when Jack calmly stands his ground near the end. No yelling, no gunfire, that's the climax. Because for the first time, Alonso can intimidate, can't manipulate, can trust silence with dominance. Final meta message. Deepest layer. Training Day is asking one brutal question. If evil is confident, efficient, and rewarded, and good is slow, risky, and lonely, which feeling you choose? Jack choose good, not because he wins, but because the alternative destroy you. Ultimate legacy statement. This movie doesn't age because power abuse never goes out of style. That's why Training Day stays dangerous. Alright, final year. New stuffs only. No repeats. This is the behind the certain industry plus legacy angles that complete the picture. Making of Training Day production secrets. The script was risky. Writer David Ayer based the story on real left arc experience. Studio were nervous, nuclear hero, villains, dominance, screen time, dark ending. Why Denzel took this role? Career risk before training day. Denzel was inspirational hero, moral center, safe leading man. Alonso was a gamble playing corrupt, abusing cold weak damaged his image, alternate trends. Instead, it redefined his career after his moral complex roles, more morally correct characters, more authority on screen. This movie unlocked late era Denzel, Oscars controversy, interesting lyrics Denzel win Best Actor, but many critics felt Ethan Hawke deserved supporting actor. Hawke was nominated industry talk. The academic reward impact not morality. Alonso was uncomfortable and that matter more. Realism check what cops say. Farmers officials have said the method feels real. The consequences are compared. The pressure is accurate. The one-day timelines is unrealistic, but emotionally it's spot on. Why the money movie is so well. Most 2000s crime films depend on technology, trend styles, specified politics. Tragedy depends on human weakness, power abuse, moral compromise. Thus, Netflix why a sequel never worked. There was talk of a Jack Hawke sequel, TV spin-offs, one failed series attempt why it didn't work. Training Day only works once. Power comes from imitation, not continuation. One, the mask is off. Magic is gone. Alone as a universal archetype. Alonso isn't just a cop. He corrupt was the abusive mentor. This is how the real world works, guys. That's why people recognize him instantly. Everyone has met as an Alonso. Why the money? Why the movie ends without music? Notice the ending, the emotional score, the release, no release. Why the movie refuses to tell you how to feel. It drops you back into reality. Energy unresolved. One line master interpretations. If training they had one thesis statement, power doesn't reveal characters, it removes the mask. Alonso mask falls. Jack refused to wear one. Absolute final words. Training in 2001 isn't about polish, it's about who you become when no one is watching and no rules protect you. That's why it still hits, that's why it still scars, that's why it still matters. Final legacy score 9.5 10 on Alright, one more but from a totally fresh angle so it still feels new this times why. Training day works like a real-time pressure cooker and how it quietly teach you about like not polishing. The real-time pressure cooker effects almost everything happens is one single day that's not gimmicks it the movie's secret weapons why it matters no recovery time no safe space no I'll think about it later. Jax never gets a night to sleep advice more. This mirrors real life. Most bad decisions happens when you are rushed, tried and scarred. The movie proves that ethics collapse under time pressure by Alonso controls the pace. Alonso constantly drives fast, talks fast, changes plans. Suddenly, speed is power when people don't have time to think. They obey friends, make compromise. Jack survives only when he slows things down near the end. He stands still, he speaks cleanly, he refuses to rush. Slowness becomes resistance, emotionally manipulation, subtle but brutal. Alonso doesn't just threaten, he used emotionally. Fearless love threatens, love gains praise, humiliation praised. This keeps checks off balance. That's a classic abuse tactic. Confuse someone's emotionally so they doubt their own judgment. The movie nails this with scary accuracy. Why Jack feels so relatable. Jack isn't heroic because he's brave, he's heroic because he's unafraid. He makes mistakes, hesitates, almost breaks that. So why people connect with him? He reacts like a normal human dropped into a nightmare. The movie's quite like lessons strip away the cops and guns and training day is about this. What happens when someone's powerful tells you this is how the real world works? Alonso represents corrupt senior it works. The anarchic post mentor who say everyone does it that represents the moment you decide who you want to become. That choice doesn't feel dramatic, it feels lonely and driving. Why the end feels empty, no purpose. Jack wins, but there's so celebration because the movie knows doing the right thing doesn't feel good immediately. Survival isn't happiness. Integrity is quiet. That emotionally emptiness is honesty. The deepest takeaway. Training day isn't asking what would you do with power. It's asking what would you do it. Refusing power puts you in danger. That's much harder questions. Jack answers it wirely. Final legacy note. This movie doesn't enter you, it interrogates you. That's why you keep asking for more, and that's why Training Day 2001 still refuses to let go. Okay, last deep dive, but still new. I promise this one is about control, language, and by Alonso, which never conversation until he doesn't think it's subtle, but it's one of the smartest part of training day. Language as a weapon, very important. Alonso's real dominance isn't physically, it's a verbal control. He always talks first, talks last, interrupt, advance, resolution. However, control the language, control the reality, how Alonso rewards the reality. Watch how he reframes crimes back, tax, murder, necessary, corruption, experience, anti-medicine, respect by changing word he removes it and replaces it with logic. This is how emotional systems survive. They renew themselves. Why Jack loses every argument early on. Jack argues with logic rules produce. Alonso argues with confidence, certainty, experience. In real life, confidence usually beats corruptness. That's why Jack kept losing rounds. The moment language fails Alonso near the end, something crucial happens. Alonso keeps talking, but no one is listening. His words stop working. That's the end. Real climax. So guys, why yelling is a sign of defeat. Earlier, Alonso speaks calmly, control zone. Later, shouts, repeats himself, breakneck loudly. That's no strength is exposure. The movie quietly teaches the louder someone gets, the less control they have. Jack's final evolution underrated. Jack doesn't beat Alonso but out-talking him. He beats him by stopping the conversation, short sentence, clear refusals, no justification. That's emotional maturity. Why this movie hits harder in real life? Because everyone recognizes his dynamic. A boss who explains every bad behavior, a senior who says this is how it's done, a system that sounds responsible until you question it. Alonso feels real because he sounds real, the most honest message of the film. This film is film. Turning Bay doesn't say good people win. It says if you stay long enough in corrupt system, it will try to teach you its language. Jack survives by refusing to learn it. True final takeaway. Power doesn't take violence, It needs agreement. The moment people stop agreeing, even silently, power dies. That's why Alonso falls. That's why training day lasts. Final score 9.5 on a movie about gun on the surface about choosing and language underneath. Alright guys, new angles clean and fresh. No repeating philosophy sermons this time. Let's do something different and satisfying. Training day as a step-by-step discrete minute by minutes moral breaking down. To think of the whole as levels in a game where each level removes one layer of safety. Level 1's comfort morning, friendly talks, jokes, Felix kids energy, purpose, lower defense, Leatherface impossible here. Level 2 normalization, small simple handling, casual intimation. This is how it is. It's then purpose make purpose makes corruption feel routine. Nothing works yet, and that's the trap. Level 3 Compromise. Forced drug use, moral confusions, Jack lost credibility, purpose. Now you are involved. This is the point of no easy returns. Level 4 Isolation. Jack is alone, no backup, no authority. Purpose break resistance. This is the scariest part and the most realistic. Level 5 choice. Kill or die, obey or stand alone. Survival versus identity. Purpose reveal who you really are. The movie isn't about winning, it's about choosing. Why this structure is brilliant? Because this is how real world corruption works. No suddenly, no dramatically, step by step. You don't fall, you cite. No paragraph, master summary, perfect revive. Ending. Training Day 2001 used a single day structure to strip rookie cup of every protecting rules, authority, backup, and certainty until only characters remain. Thought the magnetic menace of Alonso Harris, the film's dominatrix of corruption, seduced thought, confidence, speed, and language rather than brutal force. Jack's heart survived not by strength or cleverness but by refusing to cross a final moral line, and doing so would be either. The film offers no comfort, no celebration, and no clean justice, only the quiet truth that integrity is loyally dangerous and often unrewarded, but losing in the fatal. Why people can't stop saying more. because training day feels real, feels personal, feels like warning. It's not something you finish, it's something you keep unpatching. Alright, fresh, tight, and new. Let's do a rewatch Great Plus Myth-busting fact. So, the next time you see training day, it's even harder. The ultimate rewatch checklist. Pause for this, and the movie levels up. Control the stage, cars Alonso, Kingdom, doorways, checks hesitation, open streets, exposure, no hiding. Who set the pace? Alonso rushes everything. Jack survives when he slows down. Who names the action? Takes respect necessary. Alonso playing language. Jack's Viber names it on it. When the silence appears, silence danger no. Music through it the source drops out something invisible is happening. Myth busting fact. Alonso is an anti-hero. No. Oh no, he is grimstick within skin. Censorship doesn't make him justified. Jack wins. He survived the system. Doesn't reward him. That's the point. It's accelerated the timeline. It's corrupted, compressed, but in the method pressures civil normalization are very real. Alonso dies because of bad luck. He dies because fear is stupid, working power without consent. Colors, five quick insight you can use. Daylight crimes. Evil doesn't need darkness. Alonso removes sunglass near the end. Image gone when exposed. Jack's sentence gets order. Clarity under pressure. Morning always poison scans. Integrity has a price. No victory music. Morally isn't a party. Reverse washing by category. Performance 10 10 on. Tension 9.5 10 on. Realism 9 10 on. Rewatch value 10 10 on. Comfort 0 10 on. By design. One line North Star. Power then needs fear to survive is already there. Go your new territory again, so no philosophy. Repeat this time. Receptions, box office awards, context, and what to watch next if training day hit you. Who hard release receptions and impact the fact side release and box office. Release October 2001, budget $45 million, worldwide gross $105 million. No, not a blockbuster, but a long-term classic. Word of mouth plus Denzel performance carried it. Critical receptions by critics were split as first. Early reactions were mixed. Praise Denzel performance, realism, tension, criticism, blank stone, uncomfortable. morality, no crime, justice, our times critical revolution turns into a modern crime classic today is regularly listens among best crime film of the 2000s, best movie villains of all times, best one-day timelines movie awards and recognitions. Context matter. Academy Awards 2002 winner Best Actor Denzel Washington's Domains Best Supporting Actors Eva Mendes surprise nomination controversial fun fact Ethan Hawke wasn't nominated twist many critics still argue was a miss. The Oscar win wasn't just for acting, it was in industry acknowledging villains can be the heart of a movie. Why Alonso became iconic pop culture? Alonso Harris joined a rare group of villains who are quite constantly stupid, seriously, and imitate proudly. He is often ranked alongside Hannibal Lecter, Anton Chigurh, Frank Lucas, Walter White all share one trait: they make you listen even when you shouldn't. If you love training, they watch. This is next closest in vibe. The Departed 2006 Corruptions Anywhere No Clean Heroes The Side TV series Alonso Stars Scope No Filters American Gangsters Power Ego Downfall also Denzel's psychology and moral pressure Sicario and Justified means sex taken to extreme prisoners morality under unbearable pressure one day high tension stories falling down 1993 a man unbelievably in public dog day afternoon real time desperation why training day stands apart from all of them most crime films ask who wins training day asks who do you become that's why it doesn't age that's why it doesn't comfort that's why you keep asking for more final snapshot memorable takes Training Day 2001 is a film where the villain teaches the lesson, the hero barely survives it, and the audience is forced to examine itself. Enduring 9.5 turn on. Alright, new quick hit deep cut so it stays fresh and doesn't lose things or his as faster X micro details and blink and miss insights micro details you probably never noticed. Shoes and status Alonso style in flashy protecting dominance. Jack's looks is plain, no performance, no image. Costume tells the power story before dialogue does. Eye contact comes. Alonso first act. Eye contact when intimidating. Jack breaks eye contact. Early holds it. Later that shift signals internal growth. Note bravado. Paper works as horror. Every time paperwork is maintained, Alonso mocked it. Why paper creates records kill corruptions. That's why it hates it. Acting masterclass moment. Denzel's spouse, the most breathtaking moment aren't lines. They are pause before lines. He led silence to the damage. Ethan Hawke's breathing was Jack's breathing fast earlier, controlled later. That characters develop without words. See truth, this movie never says out loud. Corruptions prefer smart people, not stupid ones. The harder line to hold is the last one. Why it works on repeats viewing. First rewatch shock tension, second watch manipulation tactic language control. This third watch you notice on early Alonso was doomed. He's already overcoaching before none. Ultra short stakes. Survival. Alonso doesn't lose power, he spends his badly. Jack doesn't win, he endures. Fear works fast, loyalty works slow. Confidence without accountability is a countdown. Integrity is quiet because it doesn't need witness. The cleanest one-line summary, yet training day is surviving because else certainty. If you want to keep going, pick a format as certainty. Okay, fresh plus compact so it doesn't feel like a loop. Here is best skins ranked by the matter perfect capstone. Training day top 7 skins ranked. Night Boardwood stand off final act. Why it's step 1. No scores, no heroic, just truth versus anti medicine. Power shifts because people stop believing. Alonso, this is where we finally fails. PCP intimidation scams. Why it hits corruption? It suggests it caused Jack's loss, innocence, and credibility in one move. This is movie more point of no returns. Roger's murder, why it matters. Alonso drops the mask completely. Money, loyalty, life from here on. His downfall is invincible. Luciano House, Jack setup, why it's thriving. No law, no backup, no allies. Jack survives because the community rejects Alonso not because of the badge. Morning rides along. Why it brilliant charm as manipulation. The claim before the psychologically storm this scans lies to you. And at the point, King Kong moment. Why it works. Iconic line, iconic meaning. The loudest moment equals tackles the weakest positions that returning the movie by it underrated the greatest act of defense, rejecting stool power it what save him worth his scans test core power needs belief fear expires integrity is not loud charming can evil survival victory final claim takes Training Day 2001 is uncomfortable because it shows ask who wins. It asks what you are willing to become to survive. Legacy score 9.5 and a pressure test discussed a crime thriller. Okay, last fresh life. Short and punchy so it doesn't lose her trivia menu misconception and what is reading the step. Quick trivia fun plus smart. Denzel improvised several Alonso moments. The casual means in party of script. The ones they structure part looked early to keep tension alright now. Release valve. The script throws from real left narc units secondary compressed events for impact Alonso confidence peak before none watch closely and you are see the overreach early comments misreads debunked Alonso is right but extreme no he cherry picked truth no excuse above partial truth moral license Jack wins because he is together. He survives because he refuses the final compromise, not because he dominates the streets. Kill Alonso, he kills his own credibility first. The street just finalize the invoice. Three what if readings. If Jack complied once more, he leaves that day and lost himself. Long term, the movie argues survival by surrender is a slow death. If Alonso stayed quiet at the end, he might be escaped. His downfall is ego plus noise, no lack of leverage. If this weren't cops, some store works with corrupt laws and new hire. That's why it's universal. The 5 second take. Memorable fear is fast, integrity is slow. Confidence can be a weapon, loud power is fragile, silence can't. And a tyrant survival is in celebration. Make draft summary. Training Day isn't about law enforcement. It's about who controls the story under pressure when the story collapses power does too. Alright, brand new angles and ultra compact zero overlap has pocket guide you can cute anytime themes, character and the movie rules in bullet perfect closure. Turning day, the pocket guide, the movie seven rules, power needs belief more than force, speed kills ethics, rushing creates compromise, language says morality, tax necessary respect fear, express loyalty doesn't. Daylight exposed are ignored. No shadows to hide in integrity is quiet. No music, no abuse, ego hangs empires, noise is weakness. Characters DNA one-liners, Alonso Haricha, charisma without accountability, countdown to collapse. The Hawke cause is usually the last wrong thing. The streets they don't love you, they remember you. Why the one day timeline matters? No, they convision real decisions who are pressure civil characters fast and yes, yes, two ethical fails and time is stolen. Cinema craft you can build no victory for morality. Morality isn't the entertainment. Handheld closeness, rapid perspective, daylight crime, evil doesn't need darkness. What people missed out. Estimate Alonso lost before the final scans. When people stop agreeing with his story, Jack's sense without winning survival success, the system isn't fixed. The person is tested, tested. The three lines master takes. Training Day 2001 stress away rules. Backup and timing until only choice remains. Charisma proves more dangerous than violence and fear proves fragile integrity doesn't triumph and it endures. Okay, final phrase. Lawyer, total different vibe turning day as a real world manipulation playbook. Shabloons who controls people this one years are training day. The manipulations playbooks. Charm first weeks later Alonso starts friendly, joking, mentoring. People matter when they think they choose to trust you. Control the clock, he rushes, check constantly. No time, move, think later, rust. People make right moral decisions. Renames crimes, bribes, tax, threat, consumption, order necessary, language, laundry, could removal, flash, but would right or lies. You are with me, right? Loyalty is demanded, your trust is earned, forced complexity. The PCB isn't about drugs, it's about leverage. Once you cross a line, you fear expose more than this justice. Public humiliation. Alonso mocks public humiliation. Alonso mocks in front of other. Why shame? Isolation, increased mind control, overconfidence collapse. The moment Alonso believes he is untouchable, he talks too much. Real power disappears fake power shouts. Why this movie feels so real? Because the tactics exist, bad bosses, corrupt leaders, toxic mentor, abuse system. The badge is just a costume. The scariest truth, Alonso isn't scary because he is violent. He is scary because he almost makes sense. Ultimate one-liner. Training Day is a warning about confusing confidence with authority. Go it completely new angles again. No repeats. It's Training Day as a moral test movies plus why it's different from other crime films. Training Day, a moral test, not a crime story. Most crime movies ask who is right, who wins. Training Day asks how much wrong will you accept before you stop. That's why it sticks. The movie's hidden moral. Recall early checks. Follows rule, believe in system. Thinks good cop in enough make breaks rule to survives, justifies action, final exclusion, safety, gains clarity, choose truth even if it costs him. Growth isn't power, it's refusal. Why Alonso is more real than most villains. He's logical without ethics that's scarier than Jaws. Villains who make sense are harder to reject. How this movie flips the co again. Typical co movies. Training Day hero gets stronger, hero gets cornered. Hidden villains performs violence laws, communities deceit, badge protects, badge expose, daylight, real statement, no rains, no darkness, no noise, shadows, match. Corruption doesn't hide, people look away, while the ending feels empty, no purpose. No celebration, no rewards, no job well done. Because doing the right thing doesn't guarantee happiness, only self-respect. That's adulthood cinema's online take now. Training day is about realizing that survival without integrity is just delayed failure. Alright, fresh line again, no recycling. His training day as a power failure story plus why Alonso was doomed from the start. Training day by Alonso was always going to lose. Alonso doesn't fail because of joke, he falls because his power model is broken. Two types of power he core idea Alonso power fear plus they viewed people's away because they scared or because they own him or because they compromised problem fear that amplifier. Jack's powers credibility he doesn't control anyone, he doesn't threaten, he just stay consistent. Credibility compounds quietly. The exact moment Alonso lost earlier, not the final, not the streets stand out. He lost when he kills Roger. He trades trust or money. He proves loyalty is fake words